Welcome to JSA TV, where we're covering the latest news, trends, and innovations from thought leaders from within the digital infrastructure industry. I'm Dean Perrine, and we are coming at you live from PTC 2026. That's right, Shivani. We are
Love the
live.
energy, Dean. That's
Well,
fantastic.
You know what? I'm going to bring it, and then I'm going to crash on the plane, the 10-hour flight.
That's the right way to do it, by the way. So you're good.
You know what? This is a breath of fresh air. You know, the intro, I'm going to let you do the rest of the intro. I'm just kidding. This is Shivani York. Shivani is the COO at Connectbase. I know and love Connectbase a great deal. Shivani, welcome
Thank you.
to JSA TV.
Thank you so much for having me. And this is not a bad location to be for us to be talking.
It's
by the way.
not a bad location.
Yeah.
When I left Chicago, it was 3 degrees.
Oof.
When I got here, it was 73 degrees. So my brain, everything was just like, yes. And my body was just like, what's going on?
Right.
You know, immediately my nose is running.
Thrown off.
Yeah, right. The time changed, the weather changed. I'm supposed to love it, but my body is just like, oh, wow, what are you on Mars? What's going on here right now?
So I'm going back to Northeast right after this, and there is supposed to be a 16-inch snowstorm coming. So my body is revolting right now.
Yeah, no, I believe it. So, but Shivani, let's go ahead and talk a little bit of shop, right? For our viewers that don't already know, tell them a little bit about Connectbase.
Yeah. So at Connectbase, we help the connectivity industry help buy, sell, transact in terms of the overall connectivity. So at the heart of it, we have this ecosystem, which is really connecting buyers, sellers, partners to help transact and do a couple of things. One is being able to understand what the network capacity is. Where do you have availability? Then going to the quoting mechanism, all the way down to inventory and expense management. But really what's really important is we look at a transaction all the way from the beginning to the end. So whereas some platforms, you may have the discovery and the quoting, what we want to make sure is you're able to take that transaction and drive it all the way from discovery to quoting. And then our latest product to launch is order base, which will allow you to then order within the platform.
Yeah.
And then we already have expense management, inventory management. So everything is done right within the system. And that's important because when you look at connectivity industry as a whole, there's a lot of fallout. There's a fallout from quoting to billing to ordering, and that slows down the process. That has the effect of not having the right quotes at the right time, not having the trust in the system, and that's what we really solve for. We have about 2.7 billion locations that are mapped.
Is that all?
So it's just a little data point, but it's across the world, and that location truth is what gives us the accuracy in terms of being able to know what is going on at a specific location and having the trust in it to be able to drive that all the way through to quoting and ordering, so that as a buyer or a seller, you're able to transact in one place and not worry about spreadsheets.
Yeah, Shivani, I'm an old school telecom guy. So it wasn't that long ago. So I spent 10 years as an analyst, and very often companies would come to us to say, we need access. We need last mile access here, but we need to be able to interconnect there, and we need to be able to do all of this stuff. And they would say, can you go and help us find that? Price out each leg, do all of these other stuff. It was an exceedingly manual, tedious, swivel chair, spreadsheet disaster in most cases. And what it sounds like you're saying to me is that you guys are eliminating all of that.
Yeah, and being at PTC, where what I've seen this week is there are a lot of AI conversations happening. There are a lot of hyperscalers, data centers, like every other company that I speak to are either data center related or are doing something related to data centers. At the center of it all is connectivity.
AI doesn't happen without it.
Connectivity is the backbone of everything. Yeah. And being able to remove those manual processes that are behind buying and selling of connectivity is important, because if you can't do that, then it slows everything else down. So that's what we're solving for. We're solving for the step before everything else. Like, how do you connect and how do you do that in a simplified way that you can trust and have a neutral party, which is what we are. We're carrier agnostic, we're across the world, and our only goal is to make sure that that transaction piece is as simple and as easy and efficient as possible.
I love it. I love it. And I think you bring up such an interesting point. Those large language models aren't learning a damn thing without the connectivity.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, it's an essential part to the AI discussion.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm glad that we're actually talking about network and connectivity again, finally, right, because we all understand that it is quite literally the backbone of how things are getting done. I actually do have other questions, so I'm going to jump into those.
Or I can keep talking because.
So let's. Who are the biggest beneficiaries of what it is that you're doing?
So I think it's anyone that is involved in the transaction. So, from the buyer who is looking to make sure that they have the trust in the information and the quotes that they're receiving, to the seller to make sure that they can price confidently in the marketplace and be sure that they're pricing correctly, to the partners that want to make sure that all of that is happening from in a very smooth way. So really the beneficiaries are anybody who is part of that transaction, and then also the end user, because end users want efficiency, speed, and they want it at the lowest price as possible and the best coverage as possible.
Yeah,
so.
that speed to market component, I imagine, is table stakes for a lot of these companies. Yeah,
exactly, and that's, I mean, it boggles my mind that we are still in a place in 2026 where connectivity is done through spreadsheets and emails and the swivel chair motion, and that has to stop. And that's what we're trying to really solve for, and doing it in a really smart way so that we connect the entire industry behind one central concept of how do you create that transaction end to end without having to do that swivel chair.
It all makes sense to me. Shivani, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you, viewers, for what. Oh, wait. Hi, Ben Edmond.
Ben Edmond is in the center of it all.
Thanks for being here, Shivani. And thank you, viewers, for watching JSA TV. We'll see you real soon.
Thank you.